Hello everyone. So, in my previous video, we looked at how to display the total income for all online recorded classes and the total income for classes with a class income of 260 or more. In this video, we'll look out how to calculate the percentage of online recorded compared to all the classes, online recorded classes, in comparison to all the classes. So how do we go about that? Doing it this way is very easy. One way to do it is this. We start with the easy way. Easy but hard, because when you have big spreadsheet, when you have a very long table with so many columns and you need to do something like this, it's gonna be, or so many rows, and you need to do something like this, it's going to be difficult. So for us, we want to look the percentages. We want to find the percentage of the online recorded classes compared to all the classes. So what do? Is just calculate or find out the number of online recorded classes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Find out the online recorded classes and then divide them by the total number of classes, which is 50. How did I find out 50? Is you look at the last row, is 51. Can you see the last row is 51? Divided, minus 1 is 50. So the first one is heading. So minus 1, 51 minus 1 is 50. So the number of all classes is 50. So we just divide 5 by 50, and then we multiply that by 100 to find the percentage. So the percentage would be 10%. Okay? The percentage is, or the online record is 10% of all classes are online recorded. 10% of all classes offered are online recorded classes. Online recorded classes. So this is the hard coded way. So you add the values yourself. And why this is not good? Now, what if I added sorry, I need to get out of there. Okay. What if I added another class? Okay. Now there's a trick here, because this is a table. We need to be careful to increase our table if we want to add another class. So let's say I added strength, speed. Let's say I added speed and made it online and made it cost it at £10 and gave it to, who should I give it to? Give it to Tanya, and then class duration, let's say 45, and equipment needed none. Let's say the class level is advanced. The rating 5 stars. The number is, let's say, 39. Maximum size class. And as you can see, the formula is changing already. The formula has been picked. The value now, the total number of the total income, the class income is 390. Okay. And let's say this is online recorded, actually. Online recorded. So we see the changes, okay? And the cost is 10 times 39. Let's copy this formula. Okay, and the cost is, no, the PT cost for Tanya is 25. Yeah, the PT cost for Tanya is 25. So let's have a look now. We added a value. We added call it 6. Okay. So we added another record to our table. You'd expect, and this online recorded. So the number of online recorded now is 6, and not 5. So now 6 divided by 51. That should be the number. because I added the class. It was 50, the number of classes, now it's 51. And the number of online recorded classes is 6. But here, nothing changed. Things changed everywhere else. Okay? Things changed here. It used to be 5,400 or something. And then you can see now, you'll see the changes, but nothing changed here. Why? Because we added the values ourselves. They remain 5 and 50. If we wanted to change, we come here and do 5, 6, and 51. And then now this is changing for us. Okay, the percentage change. Did you see why using dynamic values is important? Okay, so that's what we will do. Now, if I delete this row, now remember these values here: 2,690, 10,557, and 5,810. So if I go there and delete my row, you see the table goes back to its normal size and everything changed. The values here changed, apart from this again. Now, for this to change, I'll have to come back here and add 5 divided by 50. So now it changes. So how do we solve this problem? Okay, how do we solve this problem is to add dynamic values. So how do I add dynamic values? So instead of the 5, let's say here equal, instead of the 5, I need to count the number of classes that are online recorded. So what do I use? I use the count if. Remember these formulas, guys. Take notes. Okay, count if. You're allowed to keep notes on Monday. Count if. Now the range to count is this one. Okay, count now is different than sum. Count is counting number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not adding anything. It's just counting the number of rows. So now if I click enter, click OK here, I don't mind, and then comma, not there, at the end of comma. Now it's asking me for the criteria. Okay, count if equal online recorded. So these are the arguments, the range and the criteria. I close my bracket and then I count if. So 5. So we got to 5. Okay, so now we have the number of online recorded. So we go back to my cheat sheet and it says use formula, and then here it says formula is not a function, you see, but in formulas you can use functions, you can use hard-coded values, or you can get your values as a result from functions. Remember this. So now I divide that by all classes. How do I find my all classes? Now use the function count A, which means count all. Very important, guys. Count A, not just count, just to be sure you're safe. Count A, and then again the same column, and it will give us how many classes will we have? 50. So again, we're missing a bracket, so okay, that's fine. So we have the brackets now. Count A. So count A, you don't need criteria, you just count the range. Okay, now the last bit to do is the times 100. So the 5, I got it as a result of my function count if the cell is online recorded. So anywhere they see online recorded, it will count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5. Down the number of all classes, count all classes in that range, in that column, the same column, and then multiply it by 100. So we get 10. We get 10%. Okay. So now all we need to do is to copy this or cut it, and then go here and copy it. Okay, and click enter, and we have 10. So now let's go and check. When we add the second row, we're gonna copy this one, okay? Copy, and then make our cell, our table one row bigger, and then select the row and paste it, okay? And now let's escape this selected row, and then online recorded, and see what if it changes, okay? And change this to 60 maybe, or change this to 10, just to 15, okay, cost 15. Right. So now we have £600, which is more than 260. We have online recorded, which gives us now 6 classes that are online recorded, and the number of the rest we leave as is, okay? So now you can see the changes. We have 2,900 instead of 2,300, and we have 6,000 here instead of 5,400 before. And then look, the percentage now changed to 11.76, and we can fix this now just by reducing the number of digits after the dot here. You can see where it's done, okay? So this is why using dynamic values is very important. Take note of the formulas and the functions, and remember to, make your mistakes. Delete row. Now if I delete it, the table goes back to normal size and things come back to normal. 10%, 5,420, 2,300, and so on. So this is our video now. We'll move on to our next task in our next video. I'll see you later.